What's up guys, it's Nerve and I'm back with another NG Plus build for God of War Ragnarok. Now this one is the Hyper Zeus build. This is another melee build, but once again we've made a few tweaks to give this one a unique identity. Let's get straight to our attachments. For our axe we're going with the Furious Maul once again for a huge strength boost. And for our runics, my personal favorites are Winter's Bite and Ivaldi's Anvil, mostly because they fit the melee theme. Now on the blades we're using the Luminous Recovery handles because cooldown is very important on this build. I'll explain further when we get to the relic, but just keep that in mind. We want as much cooldown as possible. For our blade runics, we can go with whichever ones you want. Pretty much whatever you decide should work fine. On our spear we're going with the Charging Assault Swordzer, mainly for the boost to defense and luck. We're going with the Niflheim set again on the amulet, so having high defense is going to help a ton with that damage boost. Once again, the runics here are whatever ones you're most comfortable with. I like to switch it up depending on who I'm fighting. For our shield, we're going with the Dauntless Shield because of its boost to cooldown, and the Rond of Expedition because of the Blessing of cooldown, which will help out with our relic. Our rage type is Wrath. It is my favorite one, mainly because it's great for interrupting attack animations. Now onto our relic. We are going with the Talisman of Main, and this along with our chest armor is why this is named the Hyper Zeus build. So if you play fighting games, sometimes a character will have a super move where they use up some of their meter to enhance their attacks for a short amount of time. So the Talisman of Main along with our Berserker Curus will give Kratos a massive damage boost to all of our melee attacks for about 10 seconds. Again, this is why cooldown is so important on this build, because we need to maximize our uptime on the Talisman of Main. For our arms and waist, we're using the Gauntlet of Zeus and the War Belt of Zeus, which will increase our melee and runic damage by a massive 40%. We could go with the full Zeus set, but then we wouldn't get the stacked damage boost from using the Talisman of Main with the Berserker Curus. Let's move on to our amulet. So as usual, we're going with the Niflheim set for a flat damage boost when we have over 75% HP. We're also going with Vidar's Engraving for a strength boost when we use combo finishers. The Berserker's Engraving will give us some relic refresh on our blocks and parries, so that's good for our Talisman of Main. And the Fortified Husk Engraving will give us a chance for our next attack to crit after a block or parry. Our last engraving is Dragon's Engraving for even more damage boosts on blocks and parries. And for our last two amulet slots, we're using Main and Garper once again for huge boosts to our strength and luck. So, last notes on this build. This is a glass cannon build, so you do not want to take damage at all. Pretty much any attack will one-shot you after you use your Talisman of Main, because the Berserker Curus perk lowers your defense when you use your relic. On top of that, the Zeus arms and waist increase your damage received by 80%, so make sure you're good with parrying if you're using this build. The trade-off is that your DPS will be off the charts, so most enemies will die very quickly if you know what you're doing. With that being said, let's see this in action. Here is the Hyper Zeus build versus the Remnants of Asgard.
Shield strike!
I wonder how many of these fragments of Asgard there are.
A realm's worth at least, so I'd say we have our work cut out for us. Well, if there's more of these Asgard fragments out there, the Einherjar will continue to be a nuisance for the realms.
Only if we do nothing. The realms will never...
Use a shield strike!
This is truly thankless work.
It must be done.
I'm sure the civilians we're protecting would thank us. Well, thank both of you. Me, they would just point at and scream.
He's calling the wyvern! Incoming back here!
Brother, knock it out of the sky!
I'm glad we can help these Einherjar on their way, even if they hate us for it.
They do not need to spend their afterlife serving a cruel god any longer.
Agreed.
Watch your left!
From above! My God!
Down!
Behind The sky looks straight. It seems for every camp we destroy, we find 2 more.
It's almost impressive.
Brother, get ready!
Enemies on the left!
I don't understand why they keep fighting. Can't they sense Odin is dead?
They are soldiers. They will always be loyal to him, alive or dead. It is a matter of honor.
Yes, they will continue to follow his orders and keep the realms under his thumb.
Not for long, they won't.
Another Einherjar! To the left!
Behind you! Look out!
Right side! just had a thought. With Asgard destroyed, where will the Einherjar go?
Valhalla exists both inside and outside of Asgard. Who knows what became of it?
Behind you! Incoming Hydra! Enemies on the left!
Careful, brother! You're covered in Bifrost!
Another camp defeated.
Aye, and one step closer to giving the realms a shot at healing. Incoming Bifrost!
Enemy to your left! Enemies on the left!
Above you! Watch out! Seems for every camp we destroy, we find two more.
It's almost impressive. I feel bad for the Asgardians, and even worse for the Midgardian refugees. Learning the god they indebted themselves to didn't care for them at all. Such a profound betrayal.
Aye, their homes will not be the only thing they will be rebuilding.